Okay, this is just to plug in a few things. You get me? To help you kind of, I don't know, help me, help you, whatever. It's conspiracies. These conspiracies that never go away. You see, you have to start with the oil industry, and pretty much that the oil industry is responsible for suppressing a lot of technologies, what they call free energy devices or free energy solutions, and because our world right now is powered usually by oil and electricity. And how do we produce this power? Hydro, through nuclear, through coal, different ways, and burning of oil, fossil fuels mostly. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. Now, some say that oil is a limited resource. Some will argue that oil is not a limited resource. That the shortages are created. Do you get me? Like to control supply and demand. Because if there's too much of something on the market, just like they say with diamonds, there's an abundance of them. They're not so rare. But then if you flood the market, there's no value. So you control the production. So you don't flood the market. So there's value. Now, these new technologies that have been suppressed, because this is what's been happening. You had even General Electric motors, right? That's the thing, it's called General Electric motors, because they used to make electric motors, So they made cars, because that's the thing, actually, when cars came about, there was combustion and electricity. So it was kind of a 50-50 thing. But back in the days, storage for electricity, we can talk about capacity, like battery capacity. There wasn't a lot of capacity, I'm trying to say. But also nowadays, these technologies that can use hydrogen, where these people you find, they actually convert their cars to run on pure water, right? You got some of the buses here, they're called green buses. These buses also run on water. They produce pure hydrogen. So this pure H2O, also, out of the pipe. You see what I'm saying? So these are clean technologies. So if you were to introduce these technologies, this would have collapsed the American market, because that's the thing, it's the petrodollar. You see what I'm saying? So if they are holding on to that, and that's their only means of survival, by the time you introduce a technology that the rest of the world can realize, no, you actually don't need to be plugged in to the wall to get your electricity. That all this was done by the mining industries. You see, they needed to make money off that copper. So they laid those lines, for copper, telephone, electricity, and whatnot. So that's a lot of money that was going in there. A person like Nikola Tesla, who is actually responsible for creating AC currents, because it was DC, and then he introduced AC current, alternating current, and also the electric motor. He had figured out a way to transmit electricity without using without using wires. He had found a way to transmit electricity wirelessly, because he said this is an electric universe. You need to go into Nikola Tesla, find out about the suppressed technologies and the ideas that this man had, you get me? Because he's like the genius of our times. Not Einstein, because Einstein never gave a shit but theories. That's my opinion. That are actually collapsing right now because of things like quantum physics. They're putting all this E equals MC squared, whatnot. It's becoming nonsense for what it was. Talk about the wave particle duality. So it's about energy. These are energy wars. Do you see what I'm saying? So these are energy wars. So if the world had the power to produce, if you as an individual had that technology to produce your own electricity without having to pay for it, and knowing that electricity cannot be created or destroyed, it's just there, you get me, but can be channeled, right? But the mining corporations, right, and the oil companies, all these people who had invested into these minings and resources of this, they didn't want this technology to be put out there. You see what I'm saying? So even, electric cars, they look down upon them like, they don't go the distance. There's just a lot of negative stuff they wanted to put on an electric car. But when you look at it, you know, that's a positive thing. Do you get me? When you got electric cars that don't pollute, they don't make noise, you know, they run pretty much silently, you know, and you juice up, like you juice up your phone, you know, and you're ready to go, you know, that kind of thing. But not only that, knowing that electricity is actually free. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It is free. Electricity is free. You know, when you get into the science of it, you know, like all these things that they want to introduce, even like nuclear fission and what. It's a way of controlling. They have the ways to control that. You cannot just do it individually, you know, the nuclear process. So they say that's the only... No. You know, that's the thing is to say now when your mind has been opened, you start to realize the evil that was at work. So yeah, you have electricity running through cables, but it didn't need to be so. You see what I'm saying? It didn't need to be so. So you got people that are paying for electricity also. It didn't need to be so. So those kind of things there. You get what I'm trying to say? So these kind of technologies, you know, because that's what the oil company did. When someone comes up and they you know, they come up with this design, they pay them off. You know, they'll pay you off. They'll come to you when you do a patent. They'll say we'll give you $100 trillion to suppress this technology. You live pretty. So a lot of people got paid off. Some didn't want to get paid off. Those who didn't want to get paid off, some of them were disappeared. Do you get what I'm trying to say? For trying to, you know, expose the lies. For trying to expose the lies. So, you know, that's where we at right now. You know, that's where we at. So, the petrodollar is going to be losing value because you got cars coming out that don't need oil. They don't run on petrol, they don't run on oil. Do you see what I'm saying? And these cars, because people are becoming environmentally aware, socially aware, they realize there's pollution, you know. People want to be more environmentally conscious. People want to be free, you see. So it's these big corporations, especially the oil industry, that has been really had us in this quagmire, where you don't understand what is going on, where we all don't understand what is going on. And all this, you know, that's pretty much it. Suppression of technology by the oil industries. Now that's just one aspect of it. You see what I mean? So, the more people wake up, the more people do their own research, the more people do their own thinking for themselves, the better off the world would be. Because as far as I'm concerned, a lot of us, we are just fed information, and that's the thing. You're fed this information through school. You're fed it, and you recite it. And you grow up thinking that's how the world is. But I don't know, some of us have had questions, you know, unanswered questions, even through childhood, you know, and you wanted answers for this as you grow older, and then they lead you to other things and into other things that totally change your paradigm, your worldview, how you view the world. You know, there are layers to it, like an onion. You know, some layers are good, some layers are bad. So it depends what frequency you're vibrating at, you know, but you come through it. You go through it. Because some of the stuff is depressing when you actually find out, did really, is this what people did just for the sake of greed, you know, to put the whole world at ransom? Really, can people be so careless of a profit? You know, that's your capitalism right there. Do you get me? That's it. That's your capitalism right there. So that's just to tie in, is to say why they have to collapse the US dollar. Because that's the thing. What it was backed upon oil itself is losing value because consumers of oil, you've got machines now that don't need to run on oil. That's the thing. They've always been there, but they were suppressed technologies. You see what I'm saying? If you can imagine that when you've got a magnet and the magnet, you know, they can be suspended. So you got those trains that slide on top, Do you get me? So you don't need oil. There's no friction there. So there are no wheels to grease. Okay, you don't need to put oil in there. The thing just flows. It's electric. You see, so that's the world we're shifting to an electric world where you don't need oil, no pollution. So these guys, the oil industry guys, they knew this world was coming, but they tried to do everything they could to diversify, and this even the batteries, this battery technology they want to invest in. It's a way that they can have monopolies. You say, well, if we cannot control the electricity, we'll control the batteries, so we have to make them of a certain type that, you get me? So they still have this control, somewhere, somehow. This capitalist. But when you do your research, when you find out that you can actually create these devices from about as little as $1,000 US, some of the fancy ones can be, for up to about $5,000 US. But these devices are there already. These energy efficient devices, free energy devices are there. People are actually producing them. You can buy one and put it in your house and get off the grid. But people are not telling you this. That's why you find the solar panels were being given for free in the United Kingdom. You get me? Because when this technology hit, solar panels are useless. You get me? They're useless. Because of what it takes to make a solar panel. Okay, the cost of making a solar panel and then the amount of electricity it gives you back, it's a lifetime. So they just nullify each other. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's that kind of mathematics there, right? It's then, that's it. It's commerce. So besides the commerce part, that's the happenings. You see, this is the Illuminati, all this cabal, what. This is it. The oil industry. And this energy, about energy. That's it. Because energy is free. Energy is free. It is free. Your heart beats, and there's an electric current, there's a pulse there. Where does that electric charge come from? And it's there. You see what I'm saying? So when you re-educate yourself, you find science also was lying. They had to take you into a certain stream, with certain thoughts, the laws of conversion, of laws of thermodynamics, preservation of energy, and the like. You cannot get in more than you put out. Yet, that's a lie. The law of abundance will tell you this much. If you take a seed, one seed, and plant it, you get a plant that will give you 1,000 times fold. You see, that's how, when you look at it, that's how things work. You see what I'm saying? That is how things work. Things multiply. Things do not divide, things multiply. So you take one seed, you buy away one seed, you plant it, you're going to get, you plant with many. Then you take all of those and you plant again, so it's called exponential growth. You see what I'm saying? So the growth is exponential. So that is the law of abundance. That is applicable everywhere. But then through man-made laws of commerce and these ideas of capitalism, you've been sold short. The world has been sold short. The world is under slavery. And the world is trying to get itself under slavery. Because the world is in debt. But it's in debt to who? You see. So people need to wake up. Just need to wake up. Just to know. Just to know. And that's it. The next thing is water. You need to look at water. Because fresh water is fast running out. And the largest reservoir of fresh water right now is under the Sahara. That's where you got the largest body of fresh water. Under the Sahara. It used to be an ocean. If you can look, there's this place called the Eye of the Sahara. You can actually see where there's a crack within the bowl of Africa that caused that all that water to drain into the ocean. You see what I'm saying? And you can still see the sand is flowing the same way. You see what I'm saying? The sand is still flowing the same way. Now where is all that sand coming from? Because it's not like it's dunes, height above sea level. You see what I'm saying? So you need to think about them kind of things there. And you need to think about them kind of things there. like, why does the Nile flow up? Do you get me? If you look at the map of Africa, you could have Nile going upwards. But we know gravity works downwards, right? So why does the Nile go up? Huh? Unless the world is not like that, but like that. Huh? It's not like that. You have to tilt it like that, and then you make it flat. And then with a dip on top, like that. So then you got the Nile flowing this way, and the Zambezi flowing that way. Simple. So the world is not a globe. It's definitely not a globe. It's globular because we are inside it, not on it. Alright? Basically what the Bible tells you how the world is more correct. NASA and them what. I used to believe in that space stuff. I haven't even mentioned that. I won't, because it's all Illuminati fakery as well. You get me? The promise of other worlds, the promise of more while they're looting here. Do you get what I'm trying to say? No, don't worry, if we fuck up the planet, we can always move to Mars. Well, there is no such thing. It's just what you see is a dot, and that dot is not a planet. What it is what it is. Do you get me? The moon is not a physical object. At all. It is not a physical object. The sun is, but the moon is not. Figure that out. So there's a lot one needs to unplug, out of. Because we are in the matrix. And some of us are awoken, some of us are not. Can't save everybody. You see what I'm saying? But, hey, if you got questions, holler at me. If you got information, holler at me. We talk about this stuff.